On this talk show right here, we're gonna hold everyone accountable. Hi everyone, it is Dr. Wendy Osefo, and I would like to officially welcome you to my weekly YouTube series where I will be discussing everything from politics to pop culture to family life to news of the day and maybe even sprinkle in some RHOPT. But this has been a labor of love. Many of you guys met me before my Real Housewives of Potomac days. You guys met me on different national news networks, from CNN to MSNBC to Fox News, even to ABC. I have been given my commentary on hard-hitting issues, and then you guys have followed me on my journey through Real Housewives of Potomac, where I just completed my 4th season. What remains true through this journey has been my love for people, my love for being able to connect with each individual through our relative similarities, whether that be motherhood, whether that be the immigrant experience, whether that be, college, just everything. I feel like we have shared so many things that are important to us. And this talk show is going to speak to everything. And I must also admit that I'm very nervous. And I think that my level of being nervous is something I want to share with you guys. I think we see people in these spaces and in these positions, and we think that they have it all figured out. But let this first episode with you guys just be real. I don't have it all figured out. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if it's going to work. But what I do know is I have something in my heart that keeps me up every day and every night. And that something has been in my heart for a long time. And I kept on trying to do different projects because I just didn't feel like I was good enough to have my own talk show. I didn't feel like anyone would listen to me. So I was like, well, let me venture into different avenues and see if those things are successful. But the truth is, I was just wasting time. Because when something is really in your heart and when something sits in your heart and you're passionate about it, it's always going to be there. It's going to keep you up at night. And you will always say, what if? And so for everyone out there, I just want you to know, whatever that thing is that you have a burning desire to do, do it. It may not be the best thing out the gate, but it'll be the best thing for you because you will never have any regrets. You will never say, what if? What if I chased that dream? What if I believed in myself? I think so many times in life we wonder about the what ifs, but we wonder about the what ifs in a negative way. We wonder, what if I fail? Well, I say to you, what if you fly? We have to start thinking and speaking positivity to ourselves. And as I say that to you, I'm also speaking to myself, because to be sitting here today after being a commentator and being on so many people's show for so long, I am saying to myself, Wendy, baby, what if you fly? So I just want to thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. I want to thank you guys for believing in me, because the mere fact that you are watching this lets me know that you have some ounce of faith in me. And I just want to thank you guys for what possibly the future holds. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. And I think we're going to fly. So with that, let's get into the first topic. All right, guys, so we're going to get into politics, but we're going to do it at a very surface level for this first episode. First of all, I want everyone to make sure you are registered to vote. Okay, the 2024 presidential elections in the United States are going to be one of the most consequential of our lifetime. I know I said that for the other election, and a lot of people didn't believe me, but look what happened. Look what happened with affirmative action. Look what happened with Roe v. Wade. Look what happened with everyone that now sits at the Supreme Court. You guys have to understand how important these elections are. And also, when I talk about elections, I'm not just talking about presidential elections, I'm talking about local elections, because the truth of the matter is local elections impact you more than these federal elections. But what I really want to say on today's episode is this. I don't think it's by coincidence that you had Tim Scott drop out of the Republican presidential race. I don't think it's by coincidence that you had former Vice President Mike Pence drop out of the Republican presidential race. I don't know if we as a nation, as a country, understand just the probability of Donald J. Trump running again for the Republican nomination. I know it may seem far-fetched. I know you guys may be like, he has so much going on with his trials. But when I tell you there are no coincidences in politics, be on the lookout for that, because those two candidates were heralded as frontline runners and like at the forefront of their party. So them dropping out, to me, sends smoke signals. And I think 2024 is stacking up to be a year where we may see the return of Donald J. Trump.
Heard it here first.
On this talk show right here, we're going to hold everyone accountable. I know that the past few presidential elections, Black and brown people have been at the forefront of not only the election, but the movements behind the election. I really want to make sure that as a country, we no longer take Black voters for granted. It's like we love the impact of Black votes, but we don't cater to the needs of Black voters. I need that to change. If you want my vote, if you want the vote of a certain demographic of people, we need to make sure we are effectuating policies that speak directly to those communities. So no vote is for free. We have to see what you're gonna do. And that goes to everyone. So 2024 is the year of accountability across the board. Everyone has to be held accountable. I have to talk about my girl, Lori Harvey. So, recent news, Lori Harvey and Damson Idris, my Nigerian brother, they broke up after 1 year of dating. And there have been so many mixed reactions about Lori Harvey and her dating life and all that other stuff. Mind your business. That's what I have to say. I feel like it's always a different standard when it comes to women. And I doubly feel like she is not, from my vantage point, dating nobody's husband. She's not messing with nobody's boo. Like, she's doing her thing. Now, something that people always ask me that always irritates me is they'll say, can women have it all? And why that bothers me is I feel like I've never heard someone say, can men have it all? That question is only posed to women. So my answer is yes, women can have it all, but we can't have it all at the same time. Some days we're gonna be amazing in one thing, and other days we may be lacking, meaning today I may be killing it as a mom, but then I have 100 emails I have not responded to. Why am I bringing that up? Because I feel like there's always a double standard when it comes to women, and I feel like the comments and feedback she's getting is rooted in patriarchy and is unwarranted. That is not the way this is supposed to happen. Lori Harvey, do your thing, be safe. Don't let these people tell you who you can and cannot date, because these men in Hollywood date everybody. And there's now articles or dissertations or think pieces about who they're dating. But here goes Lori Harvey, and everybody now wants to be damn Chase. Like, no, let her do her thing as long as she's not hurting anybody. Okay? All right. Another thing that I think is really important for me is that of my family, because my family is really the people who make me who I am. So just the other day, you guys know I have 3 little kids. I have Carter, Cruz, and Cameron. And I was giving my daughter Cameron a bath. And when she came out the bath, she looked at me and I was just like fixing something in my hair. And she looked at me and she said, "Mommy, I want flat hair." And I said, "Baby, what you mean you want flat hair?" Because my daughter has braids. She says, "I want flat, soft hair like you." And I said, "Well, baby girl, you have braids and mommy can get braids too." And as I'm like talking her through it, and me and Cameron, we're really close. We have a mantra every day. I ask her who's the nicest girl in the world, who's the prettiest girl in the world. And she's like, "Me, mommy, me." As like I'm talking to her, she just starts crying. And she starts saying how everyone in her school has flat hair and no one has braids, and even her mommy has flat hair. And all I could do was literally hold her and tell her how beautiful she is. But I don't think we often talk about what comes with motherhood, but also we don't talk about what comes with trying to provide our children a better life than we were given. You see, my daughter goes to this really nice upscale school, and my husband and I are proud that we can afford that for her, but there's a downside to it. There's not a lot of girls in that school that look like her. And her friends, and what I'm realizing, her standards of beauty are now defined by the people she goes to school with. My baby is a beautiful chocolate princess, and everything about her is gorgeous, from her nose to her ear to her eyes. And I just want her to feel loved, and I want her to always feel beautiful no matter who's surrounded by them. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't have an answer for her. I literally lifted up my wig and I said, "This is mommy's costume. I'm in hair and nails and lashes because that's what I need to do to work. I'm not in that because that's who I am." And I literally lifted up the back of my wig and let her touch my braids up underneath it, because as a mom, I felt helpless, and all I could do was show her that the beauty she has in herself, mommy also has. And I just think that as parents, we try the best we can, but no one is perfect. So for all the little beautiful brown babies out there that look like my Cameron, please know I see you, I love you, and your hair is beautiful, no matter what texture it is. If it's curly, the better. It's okay. And know that some of us have the same exact hair as you. And I made a promise to my little girl. I said, I'm going to start wearing braids. And the only reason I don't wear long braids is because, as some of you know, I have issues with my own hair. So the braids are so heavy and it literally falls out. But I'm going to find a way, because I need little girls to see beauty in themselves, because you all are so, so beautiful. We made it through the end of the first show. I can't believe we did it. But before we get to that, I just want to give some shout outs. And I think this is so important to give people their flowers while you can still smell them. I want to give a shout out to Wale, a local native who just officially got his own day. It's November 10th. Like, that is major, not just as someone who is from the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, but also as a Nigerian. So shout out to Wale. I also like to give a major shout out to the Pikesville Wildcats 10U football team, my son's football team. I see you, Carter. Shout out to those boys who just won their Super Bowl and their championship game. They went undefeated the whole season, from the regular season to the playoffs, completely undefeated, and they only had one game where someone scored on them. Do you know how hard that is? So shout out to the Pikesville 10U Wildcats. Shout out to their coaches who are doing a phenomenal job raising these young boys and really teaching them not just what it means to be a member of the team, but to be an awesome contributor to society. And last but not least, I'd like to give a shout out to everybody who was at the Garçon Ball. Y'all ain't invite me, and that's fine. It's really not. But y'all were serving looks, baby, at this ball, okay? I want to be at the Garcon ball. I want to serve looks. I want to be there. But even though I wasn't, y'all did it. It looked amazing, and I look forward to next year. So on that note, thank you all for watching. I cannot believe we have filmed the first show, and I don't want to get sentimental. You guys will find out that I am a crier, so it's gonna happen eventually. But I'll just leave you with my favorite quote. They say, sky is not the limit, it's the view. Continue to reach for everything your heart desires. You are so deserving of it. Don't let anyone or anything tell you what you should and should not do. Know that life is meant to be lived, and you owe it to yourself to live the very best version of this life while we're all still here. And with so much going on in this world, not just here locally, but also abroad, I would just say, let's be kind to each other. Let's love on one another. Life is hard, and let's be kind. Lots of peace, lots of joy.